SingularityNET is decentralizing corporate and big tech AI. SingularityNET is saving the planet by building an inclusive, decentralized global AGI platform where everyone in the world, no matter who you are, will have access to this explosion of intelligence. Without SingularityNET, big tech or governments will win the race to general AI, which would be inevitable in creating an unstoppable dictating force. SingularityNET is giving this power back to the people in the same way Bitcoin is the rat poison to the banks. SingularityNET is the rat poison to big tech's grip on AI supremacy. No for-profit corporate entity can create what SNet is creating. They all will be centralized by design. Governments want full control over their AI systems and platforms, which SingularityNET is the only platform that can give them that control whilst creating a fair, inclusive economy of minds. This is why SingularityNET single-handedly is disrupting a $17 trillion industry by 2030. SingularityNET has a complex tokenomics which will drive huge prices of AGI in the near future, similar to Chainlink's Link token. Liquidity providers will earn percent AGI profit by staking AGI in the liquidity staking pool to create a seamless fiat payment gateway for real-world customers. All transactions are automatically converted from fiat to AGI, locking some liquidity pool AGI in a smart contract. This is so the real-world customers never know they are using a blockchain-based platform. AI agents are paid in AGI and are also needed to stake on their own AIs to increase their rank and reputations in the reputation engine to earn increasing use of their AI services for profit. Users also stake on these agents to increase the agent's reputation while gaining percentage AGI profits if the agent's reputation increases. This creates a self-evolving AI platform which optimizes towards full, permanent, and reliable world AI utility. Reputation staking is the main decentralized component of the trusted AI intelligence platform, Decentralized AI Oracle, which will have similar economics to Chainlink agents and staking. Large AI contracts will be purchased in bulk subscriptions in AGI and locked into smart contracts, which will take many AGI out of the market. SingularityNET will capture the market cap of the whole decentralized AI ecosystem by becoming the high-level interface between the user and all decentralized AI services. For example, AI training will be purchased on the SingularityNET API interface hidden behind applications interfaces, but then connects to the third-party decentralized AI ecosystem for these computations to be executed. Application admins or users will buy AGI on SingularityNET for AI training services and locked up in a smart contract. Then the partner provides the AI computations, the service is confirmed as satisfactory, the AGI, the auto converts to the third-party currencies of choice. This can take some time, reducing the amount of AGI available. SingularityNET will be hidden behind all Fortune 500 companies and developers' websites and product APIs, powering the world's AI abilities to new heights in a sovereign and data-secure way. Collectively, with SingularityNET protocol, Fortune 500 companies, developers, and governments will disrupt the big tech's grip on AI, disrupting a $17 trillion AI industry by 2030. SingularityNET is the nervous system of the world decentralized AI ecosystem, a unicorn of unimaginable proportions. SingularityNET will capture value in the same way Chainlink does. Corporations and governments are already partnered but are mostly under NDAs at the moment. What you guys just heard was a line from Fractal Crypto, who covers AGI extensively. I will leave links to Fractal Crypto in the description below so you guys can check him out. If you guys are new here, this is a bit of a different video. Usually we cover the daily news. However, today we are going to be covering AGI with my good friend Brando from Bigger Than Race. We do have a part 1. So if you're seeing this video for the first time, you've never heard of SingularityNET, or maybe you have, but you should watch part 1. I will leave part 1 linked below in the description. Part 1 goes over mainly the project, what it is, how it works, some of their partners and things like that. We're going to dive deeper into that on this video today and also go over some of the tokenomics and how is the token going to be used, what is the utility of the token, and everything like that. So with that said, what's going on, Brando? I hope you're ready for this part 2 because my audience has been asking for it like crazy.
What's going on, digital investor? I'm ready. I'm always ready. I'm ready to talk this artificial general intelligence and see what is to come. But, I wanted to point out something real quick. Firstly, I want to say hi to all of your subscribers and listeners, and I hope you guys find this content valuable and viable. But you mentioned 17 trillion by 2030. Now, Dr. Ben Goertzel released a text the other day, and he said he would like to have this already running, the system self-running itself by 2026. And, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the book, The Art of War, but in that book, there's a quote that says, appear far when you are near. Don't think this is going to be 17 trillion by 2030. It's going to happen a lot faster because they are ready to go. So you have robots already ready up. They're already being utilized as we speak. So just prepare for anything to happen and prepare for your tops to be blown back. But make sure your bags are packed so that you can benefit from this long journey.
Definitely, definitely. We know that this technology is changing the world. Again, if you guys watched part one, then you guys know how crazy this project is. Brando, I think that's why they wanted you back so bad, and they wanted us to talk more about this, because once you kind of reveal the project to them, they definitely want more. And one of those things that people are like, I wish you guys touched more on was the token, and what is that token utility. So I think that's what we should really dig into here today. Guys, so Brando sent me a bunch of stuff. This is one of them. And Brando, where did you get this from? And what is the picture that is kind of being painted here?
Yeah, so basically this was pulled directly out of the white paper on SingularityNET. And this basically shows how the token is going to be utilized throughout the entire SingularityNET. So starting at the bottom, you see the server farm. And if you follow the arrows, it leads you to the robot. And then you could see the AGI token going into the robot. And then the robot goes into the human. And then you can also see above that the movement data. You see this electricity in the AGI token to the monitor sensor. And then if we go to the left, you see that power grid on top of the roof there. It goes down to the usage data, to the green coin, to the Wi-Fi router. And then on the right-hand side, you see the green coin to the AGI token. And that goes down to the desktop PC, down to the AGI token, to the server farm. So you have to understand cryptocurrency is really not, it's really for the robots in these technologies to communicate with each other. We are holding the protocols to the internet of value of these specific blockchain protocols. So, we get so excited about holding a specific crypto, but we don't really understand what we're holding on to. You are holding on to a piece of the protocol to that specific internet of value. Now, you might have to let that sink in. We are investing in the internet of value. In the 90s, it was the internet of information. Now it's the internet of value. And then you have the internet of things that go along with that. So people who are not taking this technology serious, Blythe Masters even quoted saying you should take this technology as serious as people took the internet in the 90s. But this internet of value is on steroids. So anybody that's looking at you like you got four eyes or looking at you like a robot, just think about your bag of AGI. And they're going to look at you even more crazier when they found out the stuff that you were trying to tell them about, you have now become a multimillionaire off of it. So understand this. When people say, oh, AGI, they're not going to be utilizing this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is pulled directly from the white paper. AGI will be used in everything that the SingularityNET has going on, period.
Right. So before we knew, right, on part one, we knew that AGI was going to be used as a valid currency to exchange in the SingularityNet marketplace. But from this diagram, which you got from the white paper, to me, it's also looking like AGI is a communication mechanism between the Internet of Things, between robots, humans, and Wi-Fi, and it's honestly amazing how many things that the AGI token is playing into as a communication mechanism. And I hope I'm wording that correctly. I hope that's the right term I should be using.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, you are absolutely right. I mean, every crypto project, these tokens are communicating within the system. Basically, the proof is in the pudding. You need the AGI token to communicate. And the great thing too, you have to understand this. They are partnered with PayPal, and we know PayPal is getting ready to uh, come out with their exchange, and the AGI token will be on that exchange to be bought and purchased so that people can, you know, buy in and utilize the AI marketplace. But now I want you to
Mm-hmm.
understand this. Now there's only what I think about, I want to say 800 million in circulation.
Yep, I think
And
there's 1 billion total and either 800 or 900 million circulating right now.
yeah, I want to say it's 800 million. But think about this. We don't really know how many tokens are out there because there's a lot that's being staked currently. I know I'm staking some. And when this stuff really hits mainstream, the people, they're going to be buying not entire AGI tokens. They're going to be buying satoshis of it, fractions of it, so that they can do what they want to do within the AI marketplace. So that is
Mm-hmm.
why the token is going to be so high in value, because once the network effect kicks in, because if you look at that diagram, it's basically showing you the network effect. Once the network effect kicks in, I mean, that's when the true value of these tokens, these cryptocurrencies are going to be shown. So when people say, you should have an exit plan, this, that, and the fourth, I do believe you should have an exit plan. But see, we are in a different place right now. This is not 2017. Utility wasn't here. Utility is kicking in. So why would you sell when you don't even know the true destination of these particular cryptos?
Right.
I,
I think
I,
it's
I could,
very important to like have a bag that you don't plan on selling and is like a long-term hold, because if this thing really does take off and it's moving within society and smart cities and communicating like this, I mean the token value I mean it's going to sound like clickbait if we even start talking about these crazy prices that could happen.
oh yeah. And I mean, it's not a thing of if, it's a thing of when. And
Right, right.
this is a perfect segue moment into the Ping An's blockchain, which is partnered with Singularity, because they're going to be utilizing AGI in their smart cities.
All right, so this is from Ledger Insights. Ping An's blockchain AI-based consumer finance firm launches in China with 700 mil in funding. All right, so what do we need to know about this then? What makes this important?
I mean, this entire article is a mind-boggling experience. It's very short, so I think maybe you should read it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just basically giving you a little insight on to what Ping An is doing in conjunction with SingularityNet.
For sure. All right, guys. So let's jump into this. So yesterday, China's Ping An Insurance announced, and when was this out? Because it's saying yesterday, so 4 months ago. So yesterday, 4 months ago, China's Ping An Insurance announced it has set up a Ping An consumer finance in Shanghai with a registered capital of RMB 5 billion, which equates to 700 million in USD. The new company has been established under Ping An's finance plus technology strategy and incorporates the group's expertise in AI, blockchain, and cloud computing. Ping An said its technology system would underpin the entire consumer finance business, including customer acquisition, product innovation, credit review, risk management, post-lending management, and customer service. The goal is to create synergy between other group companies and form a closed-loop financial system. As China's first consumer finance company with a technology plus finance positioning, we will realize digital development by driving our business with advanced technology such as AI and cloud computing to enhance user experience and bring more convenience to consumers whose consumption habits are rapidly upgrading. Said Chen Dongqi, hope I'm saying that right, chairman of Ping An Customer Finance. Ping An Consumer Finance has been approved by the China Banking and Insurance Regulatory Commission. Ping An contributed 30% of the company's registered capital as its largest shareholder. Other shareholders include Harmonious Splendor, which has a stake in Ping An, Puhoi Enterprise Management, and two tech companies that are linked to Lufax Holding, a P2P lending company associated with Ping An Insurance. Ping An has a significant presence in the blockchain space. They have 68 blockchain patents and 679 AI patents and 48 in cloud computing. That's a lot of patents for someone to hold for sure. One Connect Financial, an AI and blockchain offshoot from the group, went public on the New York Stock Exchange last year. While One Connect is leading the blockchain development for the group, Ping An is also involved in other projects. A few months ago, they partnered with Shenzhen Taxation Bureau to develop a smart tax model using AI, blockchain, and other technologies. Okay, so this is kind of what we talked about before with them using AI to track finances and for taxes and everything like that. So like nothing is not seen pretty much. Let's see. SingularityNET, which uses a decentralized ledger technology for creating, sharing, and monetizing AI services. Wow. All right.
The funny thing is, I made a mistake. This Ping An is not dealing with smart cities. It's because they're a financial firm, one of the biggest insurance companies in China. It's actually Gloryview, which is another big partner with SingularityNET that's specifically working with the smart cities. So I apologize for that. But you still got some great insight on what another partner, Ping An, is going to be utilizing with SingularityNET.
Right. I also think it was an interesting choice of language when they said the Chinese insurance firm is in a partnership with AI service provider. So kind of like reinforcing that not that theory, but the use case of SingularityNET basically as an oracle, as an integration for other companies and other whatever it is that will plug into the Singularity.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, listen, this AI is going to be used for everything. And I like to think AI hasn't even reached its full potential. We're nowhere near it yet. We're going to start hearing more and more about it as in the coming months and the coming years. And sooner or later, everything is going to be ran on AI, and majority of the masses won't even know it. And,
Right.
and just a segue, I'm sorry, into Gloryview. Gloryview is a big partnership with them, and Gloryview is partnered with Oracle, Microsoft, Cisco, Honeywell, Dell, HBC, Hawaii, Avaya, HP, IBM, Hitachi, and Oracle, just to name a few. So, and they're utilizing.
And they're connected to SingularityNET in what way again?
Gloryview is directly partnered with SingularityNET.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense.
So yeah, I mean it's going to be huge, and if all these major companies are going to use this token because of the technology, the token is going to be extremely valuable. I mean, honestly, the price. If you talk about, they talk about XRP being a price set of 10,000. And you have how many XRP is in circulation? How many in circulation? About
43 billion, I think, something like
43
that.
billion, and we have a billion of AGI tokens. 800 million in circulation. Think about that. And
Yeah,
then
that
we
I
talk
was thinking
about
about
price.
that over the course of the entire week.
Yeah.
The price right now doesn't make sense. I truly believe that when people look back and they see that this thing was down, I think it was the lowest it ever was under a cent. It was 0.007, I think. And I think, people who bought down at that level, they're going to be looked at as geniuses. I don't think people are going to be able to believe that that there was an opportunity to buy this token at pennies.
Bro, if you bought it at 2 cents, you're gonna be looked at as a genius. If you buy it
Right.
even right now, you are going to be looked at a genius because the price is nowhere near where it's going to be. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? This is like buying
Definitely.
in. I mean, this is beyond buying into like Google or anything like that.
Right.
This will be
It's
bigger.
buying in as well before the utility comes. Because right now, as far as if it is being used in utility type things, it's definitely not on a massive scale yet.
Right. I agree. It's definitely not on a massive scale yet, but very well soon it shall be.
All right, guys, moving on. We're looking at a tweet here from Fractal Crypto. Again, I highly suggest you guys check him out. He is doing a lot for the AGI space, puts out a lot of extremely good information. He says SingularityNet AGI is literally the central pillar of the meta structure of this fourth industrial revolution. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink tools for money governance, trust data, sovereignty. This is not your human self. It's for your AR private decentralized AI assistant. So the main character in this story is SingularityNet. Simply put, a platform that is not owned by any organization where everybody can publish their AI services. Every other person or institution can then use these services against a small fee. But more on this later. In a former article, I focused mainly on the inner workings of SingularityNet itself. In this article, I will explore the wider ecosystem that is being formed around SingularityNet, consisting of independent layers, among others. 1. Data and Ocean Protocol. 2. Computing and storage infrastructure, NewNet. 3. Secure, fast, scalable private transactions, TOTA. All of the above are decentralized ecosystems in their own right that have the ability to connect and integrate other marketplaces and infrastructures. I suppose the story below could also be told with any of the other 3 structures. Now, we can't read because of this little pop-up, so we'll skip to where we can. Therefore, I don't hesitate to put AI and SingularityNet at the center of this evolving metastructure of ecosystems. And then, guys, we have another tweet from Fractal Crypto saying AI plus blockchain is converging rapidly. Phases 1, scientific convergence and cross scientific research. 2, technology convergence and new technology platforms arise. And 3, market convergence births new innovative tech plus products. And 4, full convergence. He claims SingularityNet AGI is phase 2 to 3 right now. Pulls up this, and the highlighted part is convergence of AI and DLT. First described by Nathan Rosenberg in the 1960s, convergence describes a phenomena in which 2 or more initially separate items move toward unity and become increasingly integrated with each other. Convergence typically occurs in 4 phases. The first phase, which is termed scientific convergence, occurs when distinct scientific fields begin citing each other, leading to an increase in cross-scientific research. It is followed by the technology convergence phase, in which previously distinct technological fields increasingly overlap and new technology platforms arise. As technology convergence continues to blur existing technological and market boundaries, market convergence, the third phase, takes place, resulting in the emergence of new product-to-market combinations. In some cases, the convergence of technologies and markets may impact existing industries, such that a fourth phase in a form of the convergence of entire industries occurs.
So it's big. Just pretty much telling you, AI and DLT, this is the new tech, which is going to be utilized in the new ecosystem that is being, well, it's pretty much already built. They like to,
Right.
they tell us that, it's still not ready yet, 2022. No, this thing is already up and running side by side of the traditional system. And
Right. It's almost kind of like the same thing I feel like with Ripple and XRP, where a lot of people are like, oh, they're still working on it. But really, I think we're just waiting for implementation. And like with all these things, it's like you said, it's already built out. It's just actually implementing it right now and waiting to strike at the right time.
right, we're just waiting for that switch to be flipped. And once that happens, get ready. It's
Right.
going to be an exciting time for people like us. But it's also going to be interesting to see how everything else would play out. As we know, the dollar is uh, devaluing, and it's just going to be really interesting to see how things play out.
definitely,
Eh,
definitely. I think we'll see a lot of millionaires made and a lot of people wrecked as well.
oh yeah, absolutely, totally agree. I mean, because I'm sure you heard Dan Pena speak,
hmm Which one?
and
Bitcoin to zero or something else?
not Bitcoin to zero. He was saying, this is the greatest wealth transfer in the history in two, three lifetimes. And he's like,
hmm
what are you gonna tell your kids or your grandchildren? Daddy, where were you when all this was going on? Nowhere. You were sitting around with your thumb up your ass. He goes off, but Dan Pena, he doesn't hold back. So I don't know
I do
if,
remember that. I do remember that.
yeah,
That was pretty funny.
but it's the truth, man. And this this token is, like you said before on the first video, one of the biggest sleepers in cryptocurrency, in crypto right now, is AGI,
hmm
SingularityNet, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Still I've yet to see a project. I love it when a project like this, right? AGI, no one's really talking about it, no one's hyping it, anything like that. But when you dig deep, you see this entire back end of all the partnerships, of all, you go through the white paper, you see the tokenomics, you see the utility, you see the team behind it, and it's like, wow. This is definitely a sleeper, and I think these are like my favorite coins, and the best time to buy these coins as well is when the market doesn't know about it, or when obviously during a bear market when that was a massive stutter, or during a bear market when the rest of the market has no hope.
Yeah, I agree. And people, just like in the real world, I think too, even in this space, 99% of people in crypto are sheep. They only go for the hyped coins. They listen to YouTubers without fact checking anything. And you won't really understand the true gems because you're not digging enough. This is why they
Mm-hmm.
say, truly silver is more valuable than gold. I mean, because for gold, you have to pan it. It's very easy to get. But with silver, you have to mine for it. And it's a whole lot
Mm-hmm.
harder. And the Bible even talks about this. So, in order to really find out the true potential of anything, not just crypto, of anything in life, you have to do what the 99% of the masses don't do, and that's research. They want everything easy. You want
Mm-hmm.
somebody else to break down these things for you without you actually even reading for yourself. This is like a hot pocket world we live in. We want everything fast. But
Right.
anything you invest in, you should truly try to understand it. And if you don't understand it, try to understand what you can. And then, you find sources like the Digital Investor or Bigger Than Race, because then, those obscure coins we dive deep into.
Right. That's the thing I like. We're in a cool spot because we're both relatively small on YouTube. And the problem is, like, if a big YouTuber came out and started talking about this, at that point, it's already too late. Like, if and that's
Correct.
that's the problem with people who get all their information from YouTube, and you think you're doing your own research, right? It's easy to watch YouTube videos and think you're doing your own research, but really you're just, you're watching somebody else's research. The
Right.
problem is that most people don't watch channels like mine and yours. They're watching the biggest channels out there. And so by the time a big channel starts talking about AGI or anything like that, it's basically too late. And I think one of the best examples of this is every time a coin pumps, people always say, "Oh, you need to get some of this coin," right? Like I just
Right.
did a video and we were covering Serum, right? So Serum just got listed, it went up 1,800%, and everyone on Twitter is talking about you need to get some Serum. Well, why? Why do
Wow.
I need to get a coin that just pumped 1,800%, right? And
Right.
not
Right.
just Serum. Again, I haven't done any research on Serum. I'm not hating on it. It might go out and change the entire world. Who knows? But the time to buy these coins are not when they're pumped 2, 3, 4,000%.
Absolutely. And even just to add what you just said, Di, we talked about we were talking about SingularityNet when it was still wavering a little under two
Under
cents.
2 cents. Yup, yup.
And now where is it at now?
I think right now it's at 4.4 last I looked, but we went up to I think 5.2 or 5.3. So if you bought SingularityNet when we made the video, you made over a 100% gain. So you're congratulations.
Exactly. So it's like, when do you choose to pull the trigger? Are you going to pull it when it's at $1, or are you going to do a little digging, follow, look into what we research and we bring to the table, and the best time is to invest low, buy low, sell high.
Definitely. So we have this Medium article that you sent me. So weekly shortcuts, Cortex, Endor Protocol, fetch.ai, Matrix AI, Numeraire, Ocean Protocol, and SingularityNet. And so these are artificial intelligence coins. And so these are all the AI coins within crypto that we know of right now, basically.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple more, but these are like the biggest ones. And,
Gotcha.
some of these are connected to SingularityNet. So, like, for me, is Ocean Protocol good? Is it going to be successful? Absolutely. I mean, it is its own protocol. But for me, instead of separating my funds, I want to go big and the juggernaut. But that's just my thinking, And so
Mm-hmm.
I know we were talking off air, and I quickly looked this up because you wanted to see if fetch.ai was connected to SingularityNet, and I believe it is. Maybe it's under NDA right now, but yeah, this just pretty much breaks down uh, these different cryptos that are involved with AI.
Definitely. So if you guys want to learn about all of the different AI projects, this Medium article, again, we read off the title, and it goes over basically everything, gives some pretty good descriptions. Their description for SingularityNet, let's go over this. So SingularityNet was developed to serve as a marketplace for AI services, made accessible through the blockchain, from individual algorithms and standalone AI applications to machine learning or model training. These services would be offered to satisfy demand for AI among various communities. The long-term goals of the SingularityNet team include building an ecosystem of AI agents that would interact with one another using resources from the opencog Foundation and help to create, share, and monetize AI services at scale over a decentralized network. So when they say AI agents that would interact with one another, do you have any idea as to what that is? Is that AI assistants, or what are they kind of hinting at there?
I would like to think it would be the AI assistants.
Right. Right, because interact and communicating with one another, it goes back to kind of that graph that not that graph, but that image that we showing the coin is kind of like a communication mechanism between all these different things.
Yeah, but too, like, it could also be agents could be these robots, because what they want to do is they want to have robots as helpmates to do mundane things around the homes. So like cleaning
Hmm.
up, cooking, whatever. So those would be considered as agents.
Right.
So
One connection right now I'm making in my head. What did they call those? The enforcers in the Matrix, weren't they called agents?
exactly. And weren't they like some robot type things?
Right. I mean, they could. Yeah, they had all these weird all these weird powers. I haven't watched the movie in so long, but it definitely a weird connection, a weird name. Like just a.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I always say, like I always tell my followers, watch the choice of language that these people use, because you'll see the similarities. You'll see the. It's just like why did they pick to use those words in that lingo? Why?
Exactly. Exactly. Words mean things, like digital
Mm-hmm.
asset investor always says. And it's also the things that are not said that mean a whole lot of things. So you always have
Yes.
to read in between the lines, because honestly, it's a spiritual law that they have to tell us what they're going to do. But they say the best place to hide the truth is either in reading form in books or right in front of your face. But people don't read, and then people can't tell when they're being lied to, because they've been so dumbed down that they believe that the media, the news, is their friend.
Mm-hmm.
And truthfully, they're not your friend. They're perpetuating an agenda, and all of them are perpetuating the same rhetoric at the same time every day because they're all owned by the same entities.
Right,
So,
and they perpetrate that Hegelian dialectic, right? Controlling the narrative,
correct.
inducing fear, having you in a constant state of confusion. And you could look at
Right.
that in the media today. If we went from beer disease to killer hornets to forced vaccinations to race wars and riots, and it's a constant. Like, if you're watching the news all the time, I don't see how you're not depressed.
Yeah. The funny part is I have people in my family. I don't watch the news, but they call me and report the news. And I'm like, dude, please stop calling me, telling me about Camilla Harris. I don't really care because Camilla
Mm-hmm.
Harris is not going to save you from this dollar crashing or the devaluation. She's not going to get you any money. My main focus right now is figuring out what I'm going to do by buying assets to benefit me and my daughter. Camilla Harris ain't going to benefit my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Me voting for her is not going to benefit my daughter. The only thing that's going to benefit her is what I'm doing on my end to provide a better future for her. So instead of worrying about what the news is, what's going on with Kim Kardashian and the food she's eating, you should be focused on what assets you are going to add to your portfolio that are going to bring you income so that you can sustain yourself throughout all these changes.
Right, right. And hopefully you guys are watching this video. You guys are past all that. At least you guys are watching, researching stuff about
Yeah,
crypto. Hopefully you guys aren't just sucked into MTV and the Kardashians all day and whatever degeneracy they're playing these days. I don't even know.
please.
Like you, I don't watch it at all either. It's a complete waste of time.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but if they want to soak into anything, soak into the digital investor in the Bigger Than Race YouTube channels because we're providing you valuable information and we're providing you truth, and
Definitely,
that's very
definitely. The
hard to
truth is
find.
ugly.
Yeah, it's ugly, but I'm pretty, so that's a catch-22.
I guess it is, right? All right, so here we have the Millennium Project, Global Future Studies and Research. So this I'm pretty sure this is like the SingularityNET logo, right? So 15 billion was invested in 2,250 AI business deals between 2012 and 2016, while robotics got 3 billion invested in 488 deals. So this is saying global challenge. How can global information and communications technologies, along with machine intelligence, big data, and cloud computing, work for everyone? So what are we kind of looking at here? This is basically the solutions that they're proposing.
Yeah, so here's the deal. I have not read this article yet, but I know this provides some groundbreaking information on all this stuff here and pretty much what they're going to be doing. So, I mean, for me, I think if we were to touch on the brief overview, which is
Mm-hmm.
these little 5 paragraphs, yeah, I
Cool. I
think
see it. Yep.
we're going to learn something together today because this was just found.
For sure. All right, guys, sit tight. We'll read through this. I'll try to make it as entertaining as possible. I know sometimes just reading things is really boring, but research shouldn't be fun, right? Making money and researching this. I mean, we wish it was fun, but as we all know, doing the research while you're doing it isn't all that fun. But we got to do it. So some 51% of the world, over 3.8 billion people, are now connected to the internet. About 2/3 of the people in the world have a mobile phone. Over half have smartphones. The continued development and proliferation of smartphone apps are putting state-of-the-art AI systems in the palm of many hands around the world. The race is on to complete the global nervous system of civilization and make supercomputing power and artificial intelligence available to everyone. The human brain projects of US, EU, China, and other countries, plus corporate AI research, should lead to augmented individual human and collective intelligence. So kind of like that hive mind, that brain mind, everything plugging into the singularity. Some 15 billion was invested in 2,200 AI business deals between 2012 and 2016, while robotics got 3 billion invested in 488 deals. China has declared its goal of being the world's AI leader by 2030. President Putin of Russia said whoever leads in AI rules the world. I then in that case, I really hope it's not China. Otherwise,
right?
get ready for CCP TV cameras everywhere. How well governments develop and coordinate internet security tech and regulations may determine the future quality of cyberspace. Malware attacks are increasing. As of 2017, more advertising money is spent on internet than on television, and half of all internet traffic is from mobile phones. Rapidly increasing video, AR and VR, and IoT use raises concerns about anticipating and meeting future bandwidth demands for an internet infrastructure not designed for these applications, but whose reliability has become strategically vital for much of civilization. I think right there, that's where 5G is going to kick in. We need 5G for all of this stuff to actually happen. That's why I think no matter how hard people fight against 5G, the powers that be are going to implement it. Over 1 billion hours are viewed each day on YouTube. With the evolution of the Internet of Things, wearable computers, autonomous vehicles, and brain-computer interfaces, cybersecurity will become increasingly important. Data needs to be encrypted at all levels. Low-cost computers are replacing high-cost weapons as an instrument of power in asymmetrical cyber and information warfare. Information security has to address a wide and diverse range of enemies, from the geek in the back room to criminal organizations and governments. I don't know about you, Brando, but that geek in the back room kind of scares me because it's very broad, right? It basically
Right.
anyone who they deem, is as a threat is a threat.
Exactly.
I mean, that could be me, you, that could be anyone in the audience, anyone who's putting out information that they don't want out, could be deemed a criminal organization or a criminal
Exactly.
counterpart or something. I think that's why it's so important, decentralization and making sure that no single entity can control these things. However, it seems like even though they preach decentralization and all that, it seems like there is some type of entity behind all of this that will secretly control the strings.
Of course. Of course. And I mean, even this is going to just take it to like even Hedera Hashgraph. It's third generation, right? It's not blockchain. It's Hashgraph. But people don't know that Hedera Hashgraph is actually quantum. So if you look at the governance, there's major technology companies that are going to be governing it. Right now, they've only announced 15 of them. Google, Deutsche Telekom, IBM, I believe. But it's going to be a total of about 39 to 50 companies. They already have them. They just haven't released the names. So if you have a governance that's going to be owning the Hedera Hashgraph, I mean, that's pretty much centralization, right?
Pretty much, yes. If you have the governing board, and especially all those partners on the board, they're all interconnected with each other, and who is deciding who's on that board. So for sure, I was even reading one thing somewhere. I forget where it was, and I'm mad at myself for not saving it. But I think it was like something from the World Economic Forum or something. I have to find it. But they were talking about in this article I was reading, which was put out by them, that they want to basically have companies have stakeholders, and the company basically does business for the stakeholders' interest. Now that's a scary thing because at that point, I can't start up a company and take it in the direction that I want to take it, right? Like some people live in America and they want to start a company and hey, all our products are made in the USA, right? The problem is if we move into this world where your company is owned by stakeholders and you're moving your company in a direction that satisfies the stakeholders, you don't really own your company. You're just kind of the puppet for your company. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Makes total sense.
So yeah, definitely some crazy stuff, and this stuff plays into it. I'll keep reading this. We'll finish this off. We'll finish it strong. As the fourth industrial revolution evolves, all elements of a business will become connected with artificial intelligence. Companies will increasingly become collective intelligence systems. Financial services and other kinds of businesses could just become software. The three kinds of artificial intelligence are artificial narrow, single-purpose intelligence, artificial general intelligence, adaptable to multiple purposes, rewriting its own code. which may not be possible, but some expect it by 2030. Wasn't it Ben Goertzel talking about having it be here by 2030? I think I heard
Well,
you
he
say
said
that.
2026,
Okay, gotcha. All
but
right,
there
an
in the articles
artificial.
they say 2030.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, an artificial superintelligence, general intelligence that sets its own goals independent of humans, which science fiction warns about. Some unemployment impacts of narrow AI are being seen today, but if artificial general intelligence can be created, then the big impacts on unemployment, economics, and culture will much greater. Facebook closed down AI bots that created their own language that humans could not understand. That's scary right there. And Google's AutoML can create new AI better and faster than humans using layers of neural networks. Who owns the intellectual property of AI produced by AI with participation of many inputs from humans and sensors around the world? How can standards, certification, and testing keep up with AI when humans will no longer know completely how it works? Meanwhile, tele-everything continues to grow. Over 700 universities offered 6,850 tele-education MOOCs to 58 million students during 2016. Global telemedicine was valued at approximately 18.20 billion in 2K16 and is expected to reach approximately 38 billion by 2022. So that's a pretty good summary. Again, guys, here is, if you guys want to pause this and go over each and every single text bubble, go ahead. You can pause it now and do that. So, yeah, it's
That's
definitely
big
some
stuff.
fourth, yeah, big. I mean, I can't even string together a sentence to describe it really. It's
You were
kind of
just
like
about to say
just
it.
sit
Fourth
down and digest
industrial
it. Fourth
revolution, right?
industrial revolution. Yeah, I mean that's basically what. See, the thing is once you understand what the fourth industrial revolution is, and once you understand that that's what we're being pushed into, things kind of start to make sense. It's like you have to be aware of your environment to make sense of it. If you don't understand why things are moving the way around you, then you're always going to be in a state of lost and not going on, not knowing what to invest in, not knowing how to prepare yourself. I think self-awareness is it's something that more people need to practice.
Yeah, I agree. And that comes with slowing yourself down and actually getting to know yourself. When you hear people say know yourself, people don't really understand what that means. That means know who you are all throughout. I mean, do you even know that, you have more than one zodiac sign? Do you know your birth chart? Do you meditate? Do you try to center yourself to become one with yourself? See, I can go on a whole tangent here, and I know, you know, we're here to talk about SingularityNET, but these things are important, guys. You have to be able to shut down the outside world and center yourself so that you can have a better idea by grounding yourself of what is actually around you. Because there's no way that you can actually be aware of your surroundings if you're not centered, because you have so much things coming at you, information, news, celebrities, everything. This new food, this, that, boom, 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 boom. It's information overload. But you have to be able
Mm-hmm.
to center yourself so you can combat all that and actually take in what you need to take in or what you want to take in.
I think one of the best ways to do that, just so I hate to tell people what to do without giving them a step-by-step plan. So one of the best ways to do that, one thing that I did, guys, is something called the dopamine detox. If you just take like 24 hours, go get a hotel room, go get an Airbnb, go get a cabin in the woods, just get away from everything. No talking to people, no music, no food, no nothing that will give you any type of dopamine. If you guys want this, just let me know. I'll put out like a complete list of how to properly do a dopamine detox. That will reset it'll reset your dopamine levels basically, and kind of return you to your center. Because if especially like if you're eating really tasty food, if you're smoking weed or drinking, if you going to parties a lot or even gatherings, you're always on your phone, your dopamine receptors are completely shot and you definitely need to reset them. Even crypto videos, watching crypto videos and looking at the videos that give you those awesome price predictions, I mean, that's giving you massive dopamine releases. So yeah, it's definitely, and like you said, Brenda, we've definitely went off crypto, but at the same time, it's important stuff and you can't
Yeah.
neglect it.
Yeah. I mean, I think not everything is about making money, you
Hmm.
should definitely be able to gain some real life of values that you can actually take from you. Because like I said, every crypto YouTuber, you ain't gonna learn this. You'll just get price predictions that you ain't gonna see coming right now, and you're just gonna get stuff that is really not gonna benefit you.
Hmm. Definitely. All right. So with that said, we're approaching the end of the video now. Let's go into some of the hypey stuff because why not, right? So now this is just speculation at this point. So Brando, I want to know what are your targets for SingularityNET AGI for this bull run that we're coming up? Well, like, what price do you think we'll see? And again, like, we're not going to hold you to it. We're not going to, oh, Brando, you were wrong. This is all speculation. Of course, we have no clue. So since you're the one who kind of introduced me to all this, you're the guy with the information on this. What do you think's happening this bull run? What's a price you think we'll see? And then long term, I mean, what do you think you'll see? I know you kind of answered the long term one, right? Like this thing could go $1,000, $10,000. But if you really had to think about it, what do you think we could actually see here?
Hi, see, the funny part is people ask me this all the time on my Twitter inbox, and I can't tell you what it's going to be because I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I mean,
Right.
the network effect could take it to a whole nother level. I could say it'll be 50 to 100. I don't even know the scale of this bull run, this bull market that's about to happen. No one knows because 2017 was just speculation. It wasn't even any real network effect. It wasn't any utility. I mean, once they flipped the switch, ladies and gentlemen, David Schwartz even said this himself. How big can you imagine? I believe SingularityNet AGI could do remarkable things financially for us. We're going to become multimillionaires by holding this crypto. And I don't think it's going to take till 2030 nor 2026. We are going to
Mm-hmm.
start seeing this pop off this year. So if I could say anything, what would it be by 2021? Man, I even hate to do this. Let's just say, uh,
Hey,
you
just
know,
speculation, man. Like we at the end of the night, we sit up late in bed, and I'm sure we're thinking about it. Right? Like, here, I'll go first. I'll go first. I think we could not easily, not for sure, right? Guys, again, this is just speculation. Don't invest in AGI because of this. If you're going to invest in AGI, don't even invest in it because of this video. Go do your own research. But I think AGI this bull run, I don't see why we can't see above $10. I don't see why we can't see $10 to $13 this bull run.
yeah, that's fair. I was going to say about 25 to even maybe 50, depending on
Uh,
how high they turn on that switch.
For sure, because we have to keep in mind there's only a billion tokens, and there's not even a billion in circulation right now.
Right. We don't even truly know how much is really out on the market. That's the funny thing.
Right.
And there's not a lot of people buying up this coin. The only people that are is the ones that are in the know, and those happen to be the powers that be. So, you know, there's only what 0.001% invested in crypto globally.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, people, anything can happen. I mean, we are early investors. We're early in this game. But if you invested in the internet, you became a multi-millionaire. If you invest in crypto, man, you're going to have a great life. But don't mess up this money.
Definitely, definitely. All right, Brenda. Well, I gotta thank you for coming on. I don't know if we could do a part three because I think we've covered everything. But definitely, if new news comes out, or we got a lot of more news coming out, or even any other coin, my audience really likes you. They really enjoyed the part one. I'm sure they're gonna enjoy part two because one of the things we got in part one, they're like, talk more about the token. So now, again, I have the chart up again. We know this token is used as like a communication mechanism. It's used with everything, and I think that's interesting because I was also reading some IOTA stuff. I put it in one of my previous videos actually, and IOTA was being talked about as they're going to use IOTA to communicate between the autonomous vehicles and robots and these towers and stuff. So AGI isn't even the only token being used like this. And I think IOTA is going to have a major role with 5G and autonomous vehicles and things like that. The cool thing about AGI is just the fact that it's the oracle and all things plug into the singularity. Like you said, if you're going to bet big, bet on the winner, bet on the oracle, right? Bet on the highway, the ecosystem of ecosystems, as you said.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, man,
Definitely.
I appreciate you. I enjoy your daily news updates. I think you are one of the better YouTubers, crypto YouTubers out in the space, because you just give it real concise, no fluff. And I appreciate you, man. I thank you for having me on the channel. Definitely people come and follow us on and subscribe to our channel, Bigger Than Race. We give you information on not just crypto, but life itself. It's bigger than
Definitely.
money, and it's bigger than race.
I'll leave all of Brando's stuff to Bigger Than Race in the description below. Just like for part one, guys, highly recommend you go check him out. Like I do the daily news for you. Brando is doing deep dives for you, and he does his research, as you guys can see. He knows what he's talking about. So go give him a follow. Also, guys, go follow Fractal Crypto on Twitter. He's putting out some amazing stuff. This video wouldn't have been possible if we didn't use some of his work. So I thank Fractal Crypto, thank you Brando, and go check out both of them, guys. Seriously, I don't think you're gonna be disappointed. With that said, if you guys liked the video, make sure you drop it a like. Let's get this out there. Let's get more people woken up. Let's get more average Joes making wealth so that we can actually put some good in the world. We do not want all the wealth tied up in a few hands. Share it with your friends and family. With that said, hope you guys all have a great day. I'll see you all on the next one.